Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. This is a general collective reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and just leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it is perfect for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to what's going on now. All right, I did a quick meditation beforehand, and the underlying energy from the tarot for this reading came up as the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords is talking about heartache, heartbreak, forgiveness, healing of the heart. This is, when you first look at this card, it's very upsetting. When you look a second time, you notice, wait a minute, the heart is very big compared to the swords. So there may be some potential for being able to heal from this because these are more like stakes than they are like swords, or maybe nails, however you want to look at it. And hello, good morning, little Stella. That's my cat, Stella. She doesn't like to miss out on the readings. All right, we do have the heart is in the throat, so sometimes this can speak about talk about someone who's afraid to speak their truth. This can also, in matters of romantic love, be a third-party energy dividing a couple. It can also represent gossip, slander, harsh words being spoken, arguments. It can even represent perjury in court. And this card is talking about forgiveness. Now, when you forgive someone, it's for yourself, so that your heart can heal and that you can move forward in your life and have the healing. Your heart will become whole again, so that you can accept love back into your life. And also, this can represent a difficult decision, potentially heartbreaking decision needs to be made. And that's because we have the sword energy here, and the swords represent the element of air, and that would be your thoughts. The swords represent mental intelligence and discipline of the mind. From my oracle, Tales from the Vector, this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light, we have deception. And this is one of the tactics that are used sometimes on people, especially when you want to make someone feel like they're isolated, left out in the cold, and unlovable. Kiss me good, hex in the city. So this is definitely talking about, this particular reading has some energy to it towards being deceived by a lover. Now, the biggest deception of all is that there's a war between men and women, but we can sometimes, because we quite often our intimate partner is of the opposite sex, that energy that is there is more between two people than it has to do with sexual or gender, really. So this is talking about this painting is actually from a series that I did in the oracle from when I was in Peru, and I was in ceremony with shamans. So this is from one of my visions. This is actually the Sapo frog here, and talking about all the potential for healing. Now we have the first card out is the Five of Pentacles, which talks about being left out in the cold and feeling like you'll never be able to heal your heart no matter what, because too many tactics have been used and you're feeling like totally isolated from, closed down in the emotional department. We have someone who is on crutches, and he's also wearing the plague bell. In the old days, they didn't have apps when they thought people had a plague. They would instead they would just force them to wear this big bell around their neck, and then when they came into town, everybody could go running because you could hear them coming in. And that, of course, would make it extremely difficult to find work, socialize, purchase groceries, the normal things that we do. And then we also have someone here that's barefoot in the snow. So the tactics are represented by all the snowflakes coming down. You know, if there's just a few snowflakes, anyone can handle a flake or two, but when you get a whole bunch of flakes that come together and work together to use as many tactics as they can, it can be very effective in causing people to be unable to work, ruining their career by slandering, and you know, this can represent slander and gossip as well, and ruining someone's reputation basically, so that they get isolated by society, and then you know, eventually their money dwindles, and whatever they were working on, they would just steal it away from you. So this is a card full of tactics, and in this case definitely, and it may involve a lover, someone, or you know, a spousal energy, someone that, and other people in your intimate social circle. And then we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is representing an authority figure, and this would be someone that's very good with words. So this could represent an energy that is the one that is the mastermind of this situation on how to get someone out in the cold. Just picking up that energy here. So the King of Swords is someone that is in authority. And this would be someone that uses their words instead of physical labor to own their living. So, you know, we have a king here. So this could be politicians, people who make the laws, you know, and use their words to earn their living. And so this could be presidents, prime ministers, senators, congressmen, ministers in the financial government, or I mean in the federal government and in the provincial governments as well. And then we have this energy of the judicial system as well. So this can represent judges, it can represent prosecutors. This could be lawyers. If it's lawyers, this would most likely be someone who's a partner in an established firm. And also this can quite often represent a divorce lawyer. So this could be about divorce as well. The energy could also be someone who's doing research, like that is looking for a cure for disease. And also there could be an energy of engineers, like people who are inventors, and they have patents, that type of energy. This could be a best-selling author, someone who speaks for a living on stage, a surgeon, dentist, veterinarian, psychiatrist energy. So you get the picture. This is someone that uses their education and their words to be able to earn their living, whether that be written or that be verbal. And this is an energy of an authority figure. So it's hard to tell at this point. It looks to me like this figure is involved in this energy here. We'll have to use our intuition about it. So here's the High Priestess saying, use your intuition. She is sitting in between these two pillars, and they are two pillars of extremes. So she has all this information pouring in from opposite sides, and she has to discern which information is the most important information to deal with, and the steps of action she would take to have the best result. So she understands that she needs to use her logic as well as her intuition for creative solutions. This, as I said, represents all this information. Information actually equals energy. So if you feel like the world is speeding up, it is speeding up because of all the instant information we can get compared to, say, even like 50 years ago. And what she will do is think about it and you know, ask a logical question and then think about it. And then she will stop thinking and feel for the answer. So a lot of people do confuse their brain with their mind. Your mind is your thinking, your will. Your brain is your central nervous system. It's the brain and the components of the spine make up the central nervous system. And that's where the feeling actually comes from. So I'm talking about sensations that you feel in your body. Like if you look at that answer, oh, it makes you feel like you're in an elevator and your stomach drops. You know then that that's not the one. And if you feel like standing straight up and you can feel like your spine getting really straight, that would be the more strong answer. So you can go through, she could get 10 answers and all of them could be perfectly logical and possibly work. But which one is very best for her situation? And that's when the feeling comes in. So people can train themselves to be able to notice those sensations that we have in our body. Our body will let us know what we are energetically in tune to and what we're not. And we do have the two pillars here are representing Jesus and the devil. So she's dealing with a lot of energy here, and she's known to always come to a creative solution because of her ability to tune into her intuition. She also understands the cycles of the moon, especially that the full moon and the new moon are the best times for your intuition really kicks in real strong then. And then we have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is saying that if you use your intuition, and I feel apply that logically, that you're going to get a new passion for discovery. So this is talking about the universe and God collaborating together to give you this new passion for life again. The wand is made of wood, and so wood fuels fire. This is for the element of fire. And this is talking about taking passionate action, having that passion within you again to move forward after going through kind of maybe a feeling of not even wanting to move forward. And this is talking about, this is coming in. Aces are always like brand new energy coming forward. And then we have, the best thing you can do is heal with God. This is talking about being in rough waters here. Rough waters in tarot represent volatile emotions and chaos, like chaotic energy. And this is wanting to move off to calmer waters and have peace of mind. You see all the swords here, because we can get it. You know how it is when you get into a thinking loop. And that's when you don't use your intuition. So you've got like 10 logical answers to your question. Now you're trying to figure out logically which one is the best one. And that's when your intuition would be best used instead. And this is talking about going off to healing this energy from when you were a child. This adult and child with no baggage in the boat represents clearing your subconscious mind basically, and being able to heal some wounds that maybe go way back to when you were a child and you were growing up. You might not remember, because if you think about it, how much do you remember from when you were a baby or before kindergarten? Generally, most people not much. So this is talking about asking God for assistance through prayer and meditation to be able to heal this inner child that's wounded, so that you can move forward. Now we do have this conveyor, has this big long pole, and he's pushing off into, he has to really dig deep into the mud to be able to move forward. And this is representing how that when you are healing your inner child, you have to dig deep and have the courage to really face and confront fears that you've held since you were little. And so this is about having that peace of mind from doing so. And look at, then a new lover comes in. Maybe one that's not in this energy. No, so this is talking, the sun's out here, this is God's energy, sending a divine partner to you and you to them. And this is talking about the cloud in between them is saying you probably don't know each other. And if you do know each other, you haven't had an intimate relationship with each other. You haven't had a significant relationship with this person in the past. You may have met them even when you were a child, I feel, but you haven't been intimate with them. And so then we have marriage. Whoa, that was quick. So this is meant, the divine partner is someone that you'll recognize when you see them quite often. And there's just something about them. And it's about really, this could be someone that you wouldn't normally date. This is someone from outside of your usual type, basically. And God says the reason why he always sends people, someone who's different from your regular type, is because the type that you always pick does this, and he's choosing someone for you that will actually have an that you can have a lot of passion with, but it's an everlasting love as well. It's a peaceful love, where it's someone you can count on, not someone where a lot of people confuse anxiety with excitement, and so they feel like if there's no anxiety in the relationship, then there's no passion. But really, it's excitement you want, not anxiety. So this is talking about having a strong foundation moving forward, and it's talking about like the beginning of fulfillment. And so this is considered like commitment, partnerships, and marriage. This is considered kind of the official marriage card of the tarot, but it doesn't have to be. It can be about making a strong commitment to someone. It could be in business as well as in, love, or a commitment that you make for yourself, to yourself. This is talking about having a strong foundation moving forward. Basically you have the down payment for the castle, but now you still have to make the mortgage payments. And this can also represent in marriage, like you've popped the question, or the question was popped, both people have said yes, and now you are planning the wedding, but then you have to put even more energy into the relationship. A lot of people put more energy into the wedding than they do into the relationship. And so this is talking about to have this continue to be a fulfilling situation, to put the energy into it. And then we have the Four of Swords. So this is after you need to heal this inner child first, and this is what this is talking about. It's talking about laying the mind to rest here, like so that you can learn how to feel better. So if you're thinking, it makes it hard to feel, because then your mind's gonna pop in there and say, hey, that's stupid. You need to be logical. So you have to lay the mind to rest. And then hang your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind on the wall, so that you can just feel, and feel with your heart and your central nervous system. What are the sensations in your body telling you as you pray and meditate? And so this is talking about, your subconscious mind is formed by the time you are about 6 or 7. And it's heavily imprinted well into adulthood, because when we're babies, we're like sponges and we absorb our environment. And really, the environment is made up of, the people who are in charge of our care. They're the ones that provide the environment. And so it very much is about their thoughts about how life should be. It's about, their culture, their religion, even their food they eat, how they approach life. All of that energy that they pour in, how do they feel about money, all of that. And so this is heavily imprinted on us, and by the time we're about 6 or 7, and a lot of it, we might not remember exactly what happened, but it's imprinted on us. And then we, if we get stressed out and we get upset about something, we tend to go to that mind first, but it's not the most reliable, because when you think about it, it's more the thoughts of people who that were raising us, who they thought we were when we were little. And then we have the unconscious mind, which would be your spiritual needs. And the unconscious mind, a lot of us feel like, okay, I am a human being and I do have a soul. But from the soul's perspective, you are a soul traveling in a human body. And it's just your vehicle for getting around. And so if the soul's needs are not met, it'll start becoming very loud, and it'll start arguing with the subconscious and the conscious mind. The conscious mind is what you have memory of. your, logical memory of it, and you can relate it back to someone. You're very conscious of it. So if you can get these three working together, that's what heals the heart. You get these three working together through meditation and prayer, and plug it into your heart's desires, then you're going for your authentic desires. And that's when this divine couple energy comes in. And on this stained glass window is the word Pax, P-A-X, and this is talking about peace of mind. When you have peace of mind, you're more able to be intuitive and be able to make strong choices from your heart. And then we have the energy of the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is talking about lifestyle. And, the pentacle energy is about health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D world. But the thing is, money is a very big part of this. When we recognize that, you have to have money to live a good life on earth these days, for sure. But you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want to live. So this goes a little bit further into lifestyle. And this is for matters of earth and earthly matters, so physical. And it's talking about this card can represent multitasking as well, like being very busy, juggling. And so it can be talking about, you start off small and then it gets bigger and bigger, and before you know it, you're busy because you're busy, and then you're busy being busy. And sometimes your work can suffer when you are in that mode, because you are producing a lot of quality, or a lot of quantity, but the quality is not there. And then you end up having to do things twice. This is also representing the friction, I guess, between opposites, between these two pillars here. And so it's talking about getting in a loop. You don't want to get into a loop of thinking. You want to be able to juggle your home life and your public life, how hard you work, how hard you play. It's about your intuition, your logic. It's about taking two extremes and being able to juggle them properly. And this can also represent, this card is saying juggle your options, but never ever juggle your morals. And definitely in this reading, there has been some juggling of morals, for sure, here and here. And it's caused, but now at this point, your heart is healed, and this is saying that you have good balance between all those extremes, because you've learned the art of using your intuition. And then we have a new passion for discovery at the top. Woohoo! So the Knight of Wands is representing a rebel with a cause. This is an energy of being able to take your passion now and move forward in life. And I feel like you're going to enjoy a lover at some point here. If you haven't met them yet, you will. It might be someone you know already, but it won't be someone that comes back into your life after messing it up. It's not about taking back someone that you've already had an intimate relationship with. And we do have the Knight of Wands. He's very passionate. He's got this big plume on the back of his head. This is saying that he can be really impulsive and hot-headed, and he knows it though. And now he has learned to rein his emotions in and discipline his mind so that he can feel with his heart, what does he really want? And that's represented by the horse. The heartfelt energy and passion in life. So, he's still very passionate and excited about life. He wants to explore the world, like the pyramids in the background represent exploring the wonders of the world and loving to travel and experience different cultures, different countries, all of that energy, enjoying that, and also gaining knowledge along the way. But not giving into that impulsiveness or, emotional outbursts that you can really regret later if you may have noticed. Harsh words, once they're spoken, cannot be taken back. Neither can harsh actions. So this is basically talking about feeling isolated or being isolated, being left out in the cold. Sometimes this can represent tactics haven't been taken. It's talking, though, about a strong foundation and possibly marriage coming in with this lover after you have dealt with whatever this is. This could be representing a divorce lawyer. This could be what this is about for some of you. And then learning to to train your mind to be quiet. And that is discipline of your mind. And this is once you've achieved that, then you can move forward with passion, but not with an impulsive energy. It's more a controlled passion so that you have really good results with it. And that's talking about being balanced in your extremes and doing the healing work that you need to do, possibly from when you were very young, when you were a child, so that you can open your heart back up to this possibility of this love. This is right in the middle of the reading. So this is basically talking about the energy that we have at the beginning. And so this is deception, but the deception is not, the biggest deception of all is that there's a war between men and women. There's not a war between men and women. There's a war between masculine and feminine energies within ourself being out of balance at times. And then that gets translated, or it gets played out in our physical world. I really like this reading. This is a good reading. I'm going to clarify with my oracle cards. This is Lepidolite, this crystal. This is the very first crystal I ever purchased. Flower. All right, we do have this energy here. She went rogue for a while. Crystals sometimes end up in other people's hands, but she made her way back. And I've done a lot of cleansing on her again, and she's ready to go new again. Lepidolite is a beautiful energy. All right, so we do have the numbers on these cards are the numbers of the paintings for this oracle in my gallery on my website, Tales from the Vector, Tails. Now, talesfromthevector.com. But I will put the information in the description box below so that if you want to take a look, you can. All the information will be there. All right, so we do have Libra. So this is interesting because this is talking about being able to anticipate a strong future rather than having expectations of how it should go. So Libra energy is talking about being a mature enough person now, depending on whatever. It's not about age, it's about maturity and being ready for love. Libra is ruled by Venus, which is about love. And it's when you're ready to take on a commitment, a strong commitment like marriage, or a strong commitment of some other part. Like a lot of times, this kind of energy happens because people they think they're mature enough to be able to be in a marriage, and start a family, but it requires a lot of maturity. You may have noticed that yourself. a lot of learning experiences involved in that. So now, when the horoscope signs come in, I'm just want you to be aware. I'm not talking about individual people in my readings. I'm talking about the quality or the state of being of the signs. So every single sign has its strengths and it has its weaknesses, and we can learn from each of them. If you ever get your birth chart done, you'll notice that you do have the signs in there somewhere. And we can learn a lot about ourselves and other people the easy way rather than the hard way if we pay attention. Every one of these signs has their own area of expertise. Libras is justice and justice in marriage. So definitely I do feel that this could be regarding someone who's divorced and maybe has decided, you know what, I'm not doing that again. And maybe you are now, and you're like, what? You can't be serious. I don't think so. Yeah, it could happen. So this is talking about harmony, and look at it's throat harmony, and this person's heart is in their throat. This is talking about the healing energy. This is actually sing to your heart's content. So this is also talking about the trauma queen. So yeah, that's the difference I was talking about. Confusing passion with anxiety. The two are very different things, but the physical sensations in the body and the emotions they drum up are very similar. So they are quite often confused. Excitement and anxiety are very closely related. And for some people, if they've had a lot of anxiety when they're children, they can't tell the difference between excitement and anxiety. It all feels like passion. So that can get you into a lot of drama. And this is Life's a Slice, hold the drama. You don't want drama in your love life. You want passion, but not drama. And that can cause people to get in fights, to run away, you know, find a different partner, and sometimes just to freeze and just not ever do it again. But this is saying you're thawing your heart out now and you're ready to give love another go. And then we have the lack of awareness. Never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. It causes a lot of missed opportunities. This is karmic space that we can fall into. And the thing is from doing all these readings that I've been doing lately, I really recognize now that love is blind. There's no doubt about it. People don't want to see the negative in people that they love. And that's a beautiful thing. And at the same time, it's a dangerous thing, because just because you love someone doesn't mean that they feel the same. And you may be mistaking anxiety with passion. We have this energy of perception. Yeah, somebody felt like the grass was greener on the other side, and they may now be finding out that it was fake. Be careful of people coming back into your life that they figured it out. Hey, it's not that easy to find unconditional love, and I miss that. And the thing is that sometimes like my grandma Anna used to always say, be careful with your words, because once those words are out of your mouth, you can never take them back. There are some words that people will never forget, and it changes the way they feel about you for the rest of their life. They just will never feel the same. There's nothing that, it's a loss that you cannot recover. Like you can heal your heart, but not that you will never forget what that person said to you. And it can ruin relationships. We have the battle star energy, and this is about courage. Yeah, like it takes a lot of courage to face your inner child and face this kind of energy, and then get back in the saddle and decide to love again. But we all deserve to have love in our life, and that's, you know, it's worth taking the time to look after yourself and heal from past situations, so you can open your heart back up and be courageous and love again. And that's what this reading is about. I do like this reading. Thank you so much for your time and energy, and your likes and comments and subscribes. I really do appreciate them. It does empower me to build my channel and continue doing these readings for you. All right, I will be back with another reading about random shift soon. Bye for now.